Ladies and gentlemen, that was the definition of a world-class match. If you were to rate a game out of 5 stars, that, ladies and gentlemen, was a 5-star performance match. That was, ladies and gentlemen, a Champions League semi-finals. In fact, scratch that. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a Champions League final caliber game. And you know what's ironic? When we looked at the games, the 2 games in this semifinals, we all looked at this game today and we said, if there's any game that would cook, it would be this one. And usually, when things like this happen and we keep our expectations high, sometimes there's a tendency for our luck to not be there and we don't get the game that we want. But ladies and gentlemen, today was not that day. Bayern Munich versus PSG. PSG 5, Bayern Munich 4. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the edge of a seat kind of game. I could not believe today what we got today. Ladies and gentlemen, that was an entertaining game. That was incredible. That was attacking prowess at its finest. This game today was the 2 favorites, the 2 contenders, the 2 top teams left in the Champions League this season could potentially win it. Today they showed today why they are the overwhelming favorites. I was sitting in this game wondering, anything could happen. We had it all, literally, from minute 1, from the first half. From when that first goal went in, it was back and forth. We had it all, and at the end of the day, PSG, they got the job done. Just like in my prediction when I said I think they're going to edge it, they did. They edged it, but my oh my, they have to work hard to edge it, because at some point in this game, they were clear. They looked like they were going to win this game easily. Like literally, they were at some point 3 goals ahead, and they nearly right at the end, the 93rd minute, they almost bottled it. But they managed to hold on. But as far as Bayern Munich is concerned, that result today is exactly what they needed. And now they're going to go to the Allianz Arena full of confidence that they can go down there and they can bring this back. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar Talks Football. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the match reaction of the semifinals between PSG and Bayern Munich. First leg, the first game of the semifinals. And this was the game that every football fan, neutral, PSG fan, Bayern Munich fan, this is the game that we were all looking at, because we knew this game was going to be fireworks. We knew if both of these teams stepped up, this would be the game of the tournament potentially. And my oh my, this was the game of the tournament. I promise you, you will not see a game this season in the Champions League better than this one. What a game. What a performance from both teams. Bravo to both teams today. Because today, that game today, it shows you why these two are overwhelming favorites. This was the game that many people thought should have been the final, even before kickoff. I was one of them. Every football casual was looking at this game saying this should have been the Champions League final, because these are the 2 best teams left. And it's a travesty it wasn't. But you know what? We will take what we have, because that was a great performance. And literally, from the start of the game, literally from minute 1, it was on fire, man. Both teams went at it. Bayern Munich were going, they had a few good chances at the start of the game. They obviously took the lead from the spot, right? It was, dumb mistake from Pacho, right? Harry Kane scores. And literally within, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it was already 1-1. And you were thinking, wow, my oh my. This is what exactly we expected. And before you could even blink, it was 2-1. And you're thinking, yo, we have already been entertained. 3 goals in the first half. What else could you ask for? Nope. It wasn't over. Because before we could even go to halftime, Bayern Munich equalized. Now it's 2-2. And you're thinking, wow, we've only played 41 minutes. We still have so much time to go. And we've already seen 4 goals. Oh no, it's not over yet, because right before halftime, Dembélé makes it 3-2 to PSG. And honestly, from the end of that first half, I said, yep, yep. This second half is going to be fireworks. Usually, you see these kinds of games where the first half is completely incredible, back and forth, fire. And then second half, both teams kind of take blow off steam and things slow down. Not in this game. Not in this game. Not at all. Literally, from the second half, the beginning of the second half, it just continued. It just continued. Both teams just went at it, but PSG, they took their chances and they scored 2 other goals to make it 5-2. And you're thinking 5-2 because it was literally right before the hour. Right before the hour, they were 5-2 up. And you're thinking, oh no, this could be a cricket score. We could see a 6 or 7 because we've seen PSG this season. We've seen them against Liverpool. We've seen them against Chelsea, right? When they are in the mood, when they find that goal scored in touch, they can be ruthless. And a lot of us football neutrals, we're looking at it and thinking, this could be it. This could be it. This might be it. This might be the end of it. And normally, when a team goes 5-2 up that early, that can basically break the mentality or the mental strength of the opponents. But not this Bayern Munich team. And that is where I have to now give credit to the Bayern team. And this is why they are so incredible. They did not give up. Even when they were 3 goals down, they did not give up because they knew there was still a second leg to fight for. So what did they do? They went forward and they make sure to make the result respectable. Maybe give them give yourself a chance. Maybe try to make it a 2 goals down or 1 goal down and basically give yourself hope in the home leg. And they did. They did. And I have to highlight this goal, right? Because for me, this was my favorite goal out of all of the goals that we saw today. The Luis Diaz goal, right? But before that, obviously, Upamecano was the one who scored the third goal for Bayern Munich. And, this time he actually took his chance. Thank God for Bayern Munich. And then you're thinking, okay, 5-3. Anything can happen now. What is going to happen now? PSG might get another goal because that was literally the way the game was going, right? You were thinking, oh no, now Bayern Munich, they need to wake up. They need to make sure they don't make any mistakes in the back and try to, hold on, maybe get another goal. And fair play to Bayern Munich. They were able to stifle PSG for most of that game, right? After they, scored that third goal. And before you know it, Harry Kane puts a beautiful ball. And this is what I talk about when it comes to Harry Kane. And I'm going to talk about the players. But this pass by Harry Kane, this was a Pedri-esque pass. Literally. And the touch from Luis Diaz. This is why I said this was my favorite goal. That touch from Diaz to put the ball down. Oh my word. Chef's kiss. Beautiful first touch. Absolutely cooked the defender. And he scored. And obviously, referee Linesman gave it offside. Thankfully, it was given, right? It was not offside. That should have stood, and it did stand, right? To make it 5-4. And the fact that there was still, we only played like an hour around that time. There was still like 30 minutes in the game left. We still had so much time to get more goals in this game. And I was sitting there thinking, wow, we could see 10 goals in this game. I was genuinely surprised that was the only goal. I genuinely thought that we were going to see either an equalizer or a goal by Bayern Munich. And a goal by Bayern Munich or a goal by PSG. I thought we were going to get a goal somewhere. And to be fair, Bayern Munich, they went forward. They smelled blood in the water. They went forward. They were killing it. And they were trying to get that equalizer. And they really tried hard. And obviously, PSG, they didn't sit back. They were not trying to hold on and park the bus. Fair play to them. They went forward to get that second goal. They went forward and they had a great opportunity when Mayulu, the substitute, comes on, right? On his left foot, hits it and it hits the post. So unlucky. So unlucky. And just like that, the game went on all the way to the 93rd minute when Bayern Munich had a corner. Cross comes into the box. The header was really weak, but from the distance, you can't understand it. It got, it was headed in, and Pacho, who was on the line, headed it out. And in the end, in the 93rd minute, final whistle went, and it ended PSG 4, Bayern Munich 3. And wow. If this this was Real Madrid taking on this PSG team, it would have been a complete bloodbath. If it was Liverpool that was playing this Bayern Munich team in the semi-finals, it would have been a bloodbath. God forbid it was my Barcelona team. I mean, I've already seen some batterings, especially from Bayern Munich. That would have been a bloodbath. But this shows you how good these two teams are. And when I say how good they are, I think most of what I'm saying is attacking wise. Because this game shows you all how good these two teams are attacking wise. Because we already knew these two teams had two of the best attacks in Europe. And this game showed it. This game showed it. We saw 9 goals today. 9! Like, this is incredible. And now we have the big game coming up next Wednesday. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this game is not over. Do not be surprised if in the second leg at the Allianz Arena, it is just this close. I genuinely see it happening. I think we're going to get one of the closest ties. This could potentially even go to extra time, potentially in the second leg. Do not be surprised. But yeah, what an amazing game. Fantastic performance. Bravo to both teams today. As a neutral today watching this game, I could not believe what I was watching. This is one of the greatest matches I think I've watched in years, right? Haven't felt this way, I would say, maybe since last season when Barcelona took on Inter Milan, or the World Cup final in 2022. That is how edge of the seat levels this game was. But let me know what you guys thought of the performance today from both teams, guys. Who impressed you the most? And if you're a Bayern Munich fan or a PSG fan, what did you think of this performance? And how confident are you that you will get out of this tie and make it to the Champions League final? But let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and peace. Take care.